everybody. Welcome back to another episode here in the bowl. How's it going? Oh, man. It's looking pretty good down here. Oh, I just saw something I need to fix. No worries. We don't have time for that today. We have so much to do, a lot to do. And by a lot, I mean like a lot. Like, I hope we can get it all done today. We're going to try. So if you're new here, one of the things I've been working on the last few episodes is to turn this lake corner of the bowl into a lush taiga biome, which is going to be removing the rest of these trees and covering the floor with podzol. But before we get to that, since we now have mud, I learned you can just spam a water bottle underwater and it turns dirt into mud. So, armed with this new technology, I did some testing on the bottom of the lake and I really liked it. So, I did the whole thing. First off, I just don't feel that dirt looks good on the bottom of a lake or river. Dirt under the water should be different, in my opinion. It looks too jagged and blocky, but turning it into mud makes the lake floor and the edges look more shadowy and less defined, which you can see right here as I'm doing this, which I really like. I grew up in what was basically a taiga biome on the Olympic Peninsula of Washington State, and a taiga biome is lush, and there's so much vegetation falling into a lake, like moss and lichen and branches, and it all just decomposes and sinks to the bottom of the lake, and there's usually this silty, gray, shadowy, muddy bottom covering everything, and I feel this mud block really helps create that vibe in a nice way. So after I turned the whole bottom of the lake into mud, I went back through and bone mealed the bottom so that there's vegetation in the lake, and voila! We have what I think is a pretty nice looking lake. Next on the agenda was finally finishing getting rid of these non-spruce trees. So here on the left is a bunch of jungle and oak, and then over on the right here there's some oak and birch left. I already got rid of some, but I need to finish getting rid of them. So all those have to go. Then I have to go back across all this and cover everything in podzol from about a third to halfway up the sides of the mountains, kind of like I did here in this little test patch. This tiny little test patch took me quite a while to get it looking right. I'm not the greatest terraformer, and that's not even done. It still has to be detailed out with mossy cobblestone, coarse dirt, individually placed ferns and grass, sweet berries, brown mushrooms, so that's a lot. But yeah, anyways, getting back to these trees. So for this deforestation project, I decided I would enlist the help of my two new assistants I got in the last episode, Siri and Cortana. I got them in the last episode when we explored some of the new 119 stuff. So I scoured some villager outposts, found them, broke them out of jail, brought them back, named them, and then didn't really do anything with them. So I wanted to see what they could do. So I bone mealed some spruce trees here, gave Siri a stick and Cortana a spruce sapling, and now they're supposed to go around and pick those things up and bring them back to me. That was actually pretty cool. Okay, guys, you're hired. Let's get to work. Okay, all the trees are gone, and now we need some resources, namely podzol, lots of ferns, lots of... Hey, I wondered where you went. I had a raid earlier, and one of them disappeared. Haha, I don't have time for you. Gotta get resources. Anyways, as I was saying, You need lots of mossy cobblestone, coarse dirt, ferns, grass, sweet berries, brown mushrooms. And I put this portal right by my froglight farm, and it brought me out in this massive taiga biome, which is perfect for resource gathering. All right, 2 shulkers worth. That seems like it should be enough. Okay, so our next step is terraforming this entire Taiga Cove. Oops. Wrong button. Much better. Okay. Dang, that was a lot. I need a break. Side quest. So, after all the tedious work of the lake floor, tree removal, resource gathering, and terraforming, I needed a break. And that break would be in the form of an adventure because I wanted some more Allays. Working with them kind of gave me some ideas. So, after a bit of searching, I found another pillager outpost that had some Allays, several thousand blocks away from home. So I decided to take my time getting back to base and explored some of the other things and gathered some resources on my way. First, I found these turtles, and since there is a gold farm in the future, I bred them up and waited for them to lay some eggs. While I waited, I noticed this completely buried shipwreck, so I dug it out, found a treasure map, and dug up the buried treasure, and when I came back, there were eggs ready for the taking, so I loaded everything up in my ender chest, and still, since I was a couple thousand blocks from home, I decided to switch on shaders and enjoy the scenery on the way back. so we have some new residents here in the bowl. Since we already have Siri and Cortana, it only makes sense that we name these two Alexa and OK Google. So we have all four of the assistants, and I have lots of plans for these in some upcoming episodes, so I can't wait to do some cool projects with them. Okay, well, that was a fun adventure. It's now time to get back to the lake cove. With all the pods, all coarse dirt, and most of the spruce trees in place, it's now time for the details. Okay, so the lake cove is mostly done. We have all the little bits in on the ground, which gives it that nice taiga biome vibe. Added a bunch more spruce trees. I still have some more trees and podzol to do up here in that area, and I also want to put some spruce trees up in this part of the mountains here, just to kind of running up towards the peaks a little bit. And we also have this naturally generated heart-shaped lava pool to detail out as well. But oh man, everything's slowly starting to come together. Okay, so the lava heart. My goal for the lava heart is to replace the stone with various deep slate textures and then like have steam rising up from the lava. I think that would look really cool, steam rising up from the lake. So we can do that by placing some campfires under the lava, and the smoke will rise up through it, making it look like steam. So the first thing I needed to do was remove all the lava. Then, starting on one side, I removed the stone and retextured and placed in campfires. Above the campfires, I placed fences, and on top of the fences, I placed lava. About halfway through, I wasn't paying attention to my health and hunger, or failing to notice this little step on the left, and I died. I lost my OP bow and some armor in the lava, which sucked. So I spent some time getting some new gear and came back and finished out the heart. I think it looks really nice, but I think I need to look up how lava behaves because I wanted it to be a still lava pool. I thought I put source blocks in each space, but the lava still seems to keep flowing. I don't know if that's because of the fences or what, but I need to look that up. It looks great now, but I may come back to this and see if I can make the lava flow less. But yeah, so the heart is detailed, the Taiga Cove is detailed, and there's just one more thing to do before the grand reveal. Over here in the snowy area of the lake, you can see where we are here. I've created a building site for the fishing cabin that I've been talking about building for the last couple episodes. I decided I wanted to do a quaint, rustic A-frame fishing cabin that just looks like it's always been here. So I cruised around in Google Images for some inspiration. I found this really cool A-frame house built by an amazing builder named GoldRobin. What I really liked about it was the way they used the spruce stairs and the trapdoors on the roof to make the shape. It actually makes for a much roomier build on the inside, but much of the rest is different. I made it about half the size, and I built it based off this screenshot alone. And when I was looking for a link to put in the description, I realized there's a full tutorial on YouTube by them, so I'll link to that instead. It'll make it a little easier to follow if you want to build something similar. But anyways, thanks GoldRobin for a super cool build. And with that, let's go. And that, my friends, is the final step of finishing out this beautiful Taiga Lake Cove. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, I'm running through a hiking trail that I carved into the forest so it's connected by paths to the rest of the farm. I have some future plans for this lake cove. For instance, putting in a fishing dock here. But for now, I'm going to consider this area of the farm as done. But I really love how this came together with the fishing cabin nestled here in the back of the cove, and to me, it feels like it's always been here. All right, so let's take a look at the inside. Here on the main floor is a simple kitchen, an old orange couch, and a small table and chairs. We've got a fireplace with some items on the hearth, and upstairs is a complete set of bunk beds. Now behind me you can see the roof going up, and having the trap doors on top of the stairs like that frees up so much space. Normally you'd have to have an upside down stair on this side of the trap door instead of the trap door, and that would take up so much space. There'd almost be no room for any of this stuff up here. So once again, great build, GoldRobin. There's still a little bit more detailing to do on the walls. I want to put some paintings, and I think I'll add more knickknacks and items like, things like item frames with fish in them and fishing rods, things in the kitchen counters, stuff like that. But yeah, I wanted this to be very simple and rustic. Once again, to feel like it's just always been here. And I don't know, I think it hits the mark really well. So, now that the Lake Cove is done, we have just 2 episodes left to get the rest of the farm done. It's just a goal I set for myself to get the farm side of the bowl done by episode 10. And I think the next episode we're going to tackle the workers' houses up on the hill, as well as another farm structure, which will be a surprise. But I think you'll love it. And that's pretty much it for this episode. It was a very grindy episode, so if you're still here watching, thanks so much for sticking it out. I hope you like the Cove. Speaking of thank yous real quick, I wanted to say thanks for the support on the last episode. This is a brand new channel. It didn't even exist before 2022. So I'm getting 100 or so views per video, but on the last video, it got over 700 views. That's crazy. So thanks so much for hitting the like button, for subscribing, for watching, for leaving comments. I love hearing the feedback on the episodes and suggestions on what I should do next. Please keep doing that. Because you guys have been so great with the support, I'm going to end this episode with a dance just for you. See you in the next episode.